Hi, welcome to Happier Ladies, a podcast where we discuss all things related to the Happier and Happier in Hollywood podcasts.
We're sisters
And super fans
who can't get enough happier.
So we created our own podcast to keep the conversation going.
I'm Malika Amandi, a SoCal native living in Western Massachusetts, a new mom, and an entrepreneur. I'm here with my sister, Azizi Williams.
That's me. I live and work in the LA area. I'm a not-so-new mom, and I'm an education professional in the independent school world.
In this episode, we take a break from our regular format to get into the weeds about whether or not we've done the things we said we were going to do in previous episodes.
But first, a reminder that we're hosting a meetup, Pioneer Valley area of Western Massachusetts, on July 27th. So check Instagram for details. We're excited to see you. Come join us at our meetup. And Malika, I wanted to share with you that I have some new revelations about my style.
Oh, do tell.
And I don't know what category this would fit in, but as you know, we've been on this journey. We've spent 2 whole episodes breaking down our style and what we know about ourselves, who we want to be, how we want to feel. You know, I've started buying some things, and everything I look at in my closet, I look at differently now. I was wearing a dress the other day that I like, and while I was out, I realized it didn't have pockets. And that immediately made me sad. And I realized I'm too old for this. I'm too old to put up with no pockets. I deserve pockets. I should only buy things with pockets. Pockets are actually essential to my style. So that's something that's going on my checklist of things to think about when I go shopping.
I like it. It's very practical.
My whole stance changes. Like knowing that I have pockets is an option. You know, I can store obviously it's got the practical things about your phone, but also just makes me feel more confident sometimes to have my hands in my pocket. So it's more than just practical. So I think it's worth fighting for.
I wonder if that's the kind of thing a tailor could do. It feels like up next level tailoring to add pockets. Maybe that's not really, maybe it's like foundational to a garment that you can't just add them in, but
I don't know.
I don't know.
But we've talked about a tailor. That's not happening either.
Right. Okay.
Tailor is a barrier. I don't know. It's on a list. It's aspirational. It's like on the shelf. I might get to that one day, but there's too much else to do. So I don't know when I'm going to ever go to a tailor. But the other revelation I have a shirt that's like, it's kind of like a Hawaiian print shirt. And my husband actually said to me, oh, this is like Magnum PI. And I immediately had like flashbacks to when I used to watch Magnum PI as a kid. And I looked on Pinterest at some images of Magnum PI and I was like, oh my gosh, this is one of my style icons now. This is the style icon for when I am on vacation or in a relaxed state of mind. There's nothing like a beautiful floral Hawaiian print and some nice well-fitted jeans or I don't know. Something about his image. Now, this is Tom Selleck. I'm talking about Magnum PI of the 80s. I think there's a remake. I've never seen it. But when I looked at him, I'm like, we kind of had the same build.
You and Tom Selleck.
Yes, in the 80s, because I have broad shoulders also. I don't know. There's something about it that I was like, he's on my list. He's on my list now. There is a Magnum PI mood that exists for me, and I want to remember it.
That's amazing. I would have never guessed that for you, but it sounds right now that you say it.
Who knew? I own a couple of dresses that are really pretty floral. And I have the shirt that is in that style also. And I realize I'm kind of attracted to it and it makes me feel like relaxed when I wear it. It's for a very specific occasion. I will say that. But then when you put it all together with the well-fitted bottoms, and it's a look.
I love it. Now it's time for the follow-through, where we visit something we said we would do in a previous episode.
So these are items that we've discussed in previous episodes, all the way back to the first one, I'd say. There's no particular rhyme or reason. These are just things that we said we were going to try or do. Tig Notaro special.
This was Sarah's suggestion from Happier in Hollywood. I watched it. Hello Again on Amazon Prime. It's hilarious. We watched it together in Philadelphia. And then you also recommended Tig Notaro's conversation with Conan O'Brien on Conan O'Brien Needs a Friend. And I listened to that too, to both of the interviews. And it was just
That's a
so
fun
fun.
TIG deep dive.
Yes. If you're looking for about 3.5 hours of content that will make you laugh,
What
that's a
about
triple
season
threat.
3 of Hacks?
Yes, I am in it. Norm and I are watching it. It delivers. It's very
My
entertaining so
FM
far.
radio station.
So I gave this a try.
Good.
You recommended it. It's live. So that doesn't totally work with my
Right.
time zone. I'm working remotely more over the summer, so that's also a thing. But I will say, because it's like live radio, there's a
Oh,
lot
yeah.
of commercials, and it's a lot. I'm just not used to the commercials anymore. Like, I'm
Oh.
all about the premium
But I mean,
subscriptions.
I'm someone who I will watch Family Feud on network TV, and I don't have premium for all of the streaming, so there's a rhythm to ads that you just kinda like, "Oh, this is when we take a break, this is when I stretch, this is when I get some water." It's not that bad, but I hear you. I hear you. No ads in your life.
I remember there was some time where I was with our father and we were watching something and an ad popped up and he just looked at me like he was so disappointed. Like, what? You have ads? And I think
It's
from
so
there I kind
funny.
of internalized like, oh no, I can't do ads.
I used to be agitated by them, but actually my husband was like, "It's not that big of a deal." And now I have that mindset also. It doesn't bother me. So anyway, this is interesting. We could revisit this later.
I'm glad that my FM radio is working for you. It's not for me.
Okay. Inbox laundry system.
I talked about the whole framework of your email is like your laundry and sorting through messages as they come in instead of kind of piecemeal. And I was eager to try, and I did implement a couple things in my work email, but I need to start from a clean slate. So the problem is that I just have other existing folders, and I'm used to the Gmail paradigm of like not making a decision about everything that comes in, like letting email wash over
Mhm.
me and like being okay with high numbers of things and kind of scrolling through. But this system requires that you actually process every piece of information that comes in,
Yeah.
even if the choice is throw it away or read it
Yes.
later. And I don't know if I'm ready for that.
So this was an idea that you brought to the podcast and upon further reflection decided it's not for you.
I don't know. I think it is for me. It's aspirational, but I feel like to be successful, I need like a brand new inbox. You know what I'm saying?
Well, you can always start from somewhere. I don't think that's true.
Okay, so this could be a limiting belief that I have.
Do you think you have to burn your email to the ground and just start a whole new one?
No, I think it's like I have not put in the time to deal with the backlog that already exists.
Okay. Okay. And so you don't want to start like going forward doing this.
I put some things in place, but I haven't been able to follow through because of the
Okay.
backlog.
Got it.
So I think one issue, and I don't know if other people have this. I mean, we all get a lot of newsletters in
Right.
general. I work
Right.
within a department of like a bigger institution, and there's a lot of communication from the institution that I feel must be important. And I think some is and some isn't, but I have a hard time filtering through. I feel like, well, I need to read it all.
Mm,
It's just not possible. But because of that, I don't want to move things or not have it be in the
no.
inbox. But then I end up in this situation where it just builds up. So
Yeah. You need a strategy for those kinds of emails
I think
to
so.
make decisions about them. I think this is probably pretty common.
I know I'm not
You're
alone.
not alone. And this is not one that is on my list. Maybe in 5 years I'll be ready. I'm not ready now. So now we have some things that were from the Sweep the Decks episode. And the first one is signature hike.
Okay, so I did it once with Norm, but I have not done it on
Mm,
my own. I think it's partially a timing issue. Finding the right time of the day where it's not too hot is tricky
yeah.
now. And then I think beneath it, it's like revealing my low key aversion to cardio right now.
Maybe that goes hand in hand with heat. But here's my question to you. How many times do you need to take it for it to be a signature hike?
I guess I imagined it would be something I could build up to be like, I'm going to do this 20 times a month. That sounds a lot. I don't think I would actually do that, but maybe like 10 times over the course of the summer.
Maybe 3 times over the summer, and then that could be your signature hike. So just do it 2 more times.
Or you know what? This might just be better for fall.
This might just be better for fall. That is maybe finding the right hike at the heat of, the peak of summer is not a good strategy. You can go early, but that's a whole other thing.
There's also this timing piece of my life right now where, like, when do I take a walk? That's 40 minutes.
Yeah.
Where do I do that in the week? I actually don't even know. I think we could do things like as a family,
Yeah.
but this isn't a walk that you could do with a stroller. So I'd have to get a baby backpack situation, which we've been talking about, like a hiking backpack. Anyway, just more logistics to consider.
Pond beach day.
I did this once with Indigo and a couple friends and their babies, which was fun. And I realized I think I want to do this by myself, like read on the beach with a book. Like I was just fantasizing about like, oh, what if I came alone and I could just lie down and look at the water?
Yes. It's so nice. Maybe you need a signature pond beach day, not a signature
We'll
hike. Maybe do that 2
work
more
up to
times.
that. Yes.
Summer reading.
I had the goal to read 3 books. I would say my summer reading has stalled a bit. So I started Gulp, which a listener recommended, and One Day, which I'd watched the Netflix series and fell in love with it. So I got into these books and then they expired on Libby. That's the downside of Libby. Like you can't just keep an overdue book in your physical possession like I would typically do. It just disappears from your device. I haven't quite found a reading rhythm since my schedule shifted. I feel fine about that. It might just be a fall thing that picks up again as well.
Find an acting workshop.
I found one that I think is a good fit. It requires some work to sign up for, which I wasn't anticipating. It's like a little more maybe educational nature. So you have to submit things.
Wow.
But I would like to do it. So this is in progress. Part of it was just like identifying what's out there. So I feel like I've found an option that I think will work for me and I just have to follow through.
And then the last one is IKEA.
I have not gone to IKEA yet, but I would like to go.
Oh, this was your indoor summer activity.
Yes.
Well, this is something we could do when I'm out there. Maybe a couple of these things we can do all together. Also, IKEA has a fantastic lunch. The girls and I are big fans of the meatballs and could be a place to bring the baby with the stroller.
Potentially. He came with me last time I went. It's that it's far away.
Right. It's the drive.
That's the real barrier, getting there, and it's a whole day thing. But I think we need to make a list of our goals while you're here and triage them because it's quite long now.
We need to sweep the decks for our time together.
Yeah. I know you have some things to get done too, and I do as well. So we've got to make good choices.
This is something we can discuss though when we're driving from DC to Massachusetts. We'll have a lot of time.
Okay. We have plenty of time.
Hours, actually. Hey, we need to name my visit to you. I need to come up with a fun name for that. I like this naming trips and vacations.
All right, we'll work on that. Let's take a break, and when we come back, Azizi will share her follow-through items. Azizi, how's your dinner game these days?
Well, Malika, I used to struggle with what to cook for dinner.
You're cooking now?
Okay. Actually, my husband used to struggle with what to make for dinner. I mean, meal planning, grocery lists, yuck. But then we found Prep Dish. It's a weekly meal planning service that tells you exactly what to cook. And now they've partnered with Instacart, so your grocery list becomes a ready-to-go online cart.
Oh, what's in your cart, Azizi?
All of the Prep Dish ingredients, plus I can add energy drinks, chili crisp, lipstick, whatever, and check out in just a few clicks. Shopping online is so fun. The meals are family-friendly, healthy, and super easy to prep. Dinner is easy to make, and now we look forward to new tasty meals.
Prep Dish is offering our listeners 2 weeks free. Just head to prepdish.com/happierladies to sign up. Again, that's prepdish.com/happierladies.
This episode is brought to you by LifeLock. Between two-factor authentication, strong passwords, and a VPN, you try to be in control of how your info is protected. But many other places also have it, and they might not be as careful. That's why LifeLock monitors hundreds of millions of data points a second for threats. If your identity is stolen, they'll fix it, guaranteed, or your money back. Save up to 40% your first year. Visit lifelock.com/podcast for 40% off. Terms apply.
And we are back with part 2 of the follow through. So, Azizi, now it's your turn to report back. Standing yoga.
Yeah, it's in the mix. And I have to say, I unlocked a new feature, which was I was at this retreat a few weeks ago and I was in the hotel and kind of wanting to do something physical, but didn't really have a lot of time, didn't want to leave the hotel room. And I put on a standing yoga video in the bathroom and I could do a whole 10-minute routine looking in the mirror, like in the bathroom. It was mind blowing. I loved it. So I'm a big fan of standing yoga now.
That's impressive. And I feel like you'll use that a lot. That's
I
great.
feel like it's again the getting on. Once I identified the problem, getting on the floor and having to deal with the floor just made it so I didn't even want to try. But now that there are all of these routines and exercises you can do just standing, it removes that barrier.
Sandwich hack.
So you brought this to us, this hack where you are supposed to cut the sandwich with one side bigger than the other, and then you eat the smaller side, and then you have the bigger side to enjoy. And so I was making myself a sandwich. I remember the sandwich hack. I cut one side bigger than the other, but then I ate the bigger side, Malika, first.
Oh,
And then I was sad that I had smaller
Azizi.
piece of sandwich. As soon as I ate the bigger piece, I was like, oh, I did this wrong. And it has the opposite effect.
I did give that warning exactly.
Good. I forgot the rules. So I'll try it again and I'll remember.
You haven't tried it again since?
You know what's funny? I had a sandwich today and I just cut it right down the middle. Completely
Uh,
forgot. So I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna remember to do it again, and this time eat the smaller side first. It's just like your instincts tell you to eat the bigger part first. So I'm gonna have to fight against my natural instincts so I can get that happiness boost.
It really does pay off. If you can remember which one to eat first, you'll be so happy about it. I think we got a note from a listener that tried it.
Okay. It's resonating.
What about Libby?
Right. Yeah. Libby was something I couldn't crack. And I was hearing, Sarah was talking about it. You were talking about it. I think it's on the Sweep the Decks, actually. I did go to the library. One of my classes was taking a field trip to the library. It's like, I'm going to go with them to the
So
library.
you went
I
on
went on the
field.
field trip. And then I made sure that I could sign up for the library card while I was there. They were so helpful. Librarians are the best. And then I instantly unlocked the Los Angeles library because I only had Pasadena and it had a limited selection. So now I have access to Pasadena and Los Angeles. And wow, it's so cool. I love it. And I have read 3 books already from Libby. But just as you said about the due dates, that is that is a challenge. And
Yeah,
I've gotten greedy and I have like 5 books right now. There's no possible way I'm going to get through all of them before I'm going to lose my place in line, but that's how it is. I also love it for the magazines because I'm a magazine person and it's easy to just look at magazines on Libby. So I'm enjoying it.
that's good. I'm also still using the LA library.
Are you?
20-year friend.
Yeah. So this was a strategy that you shared to be more comfortable in social settings. And it was to imagine and to act as though you've been friends with someone for 20 years when you're interacting with them, when you're socializing with them. And so I've kept this in mind a few times when I'm at retreats or a happy hour or some, usually work related thing where I don't actually know people that well. And I have to say it works. It's something that I say to myself as I'm going in, to help sort of put me in the mood like, I pretend like I know these people. How would I be? How would I feel? How would I stand? How would I talk if they were my friends? And it does help. So I appreciate that strategy.
That's great.
Something I'll keep in mind.
Packing cubes.
I just much like Libby, everyone was talking about it. And I'm usually the last one to the party. I have to say, when Sex and the City came out, I watched it about 20 years later. And then I was like, hey, everybody, Sex and the City. No one wants to talk about it anymore. But anyway, just to say that I'm very late to trends. I get it. I have them. I will always use them when I travel now. And yeah, no looking back.
Welcome to the
Yes,
club.
thank you. I'm always skeptical of the club.
I know. Since you're a questioner,
I am. So I don't sometimes if there's hype, I'm a little like side eye about it, but this hype I'm into.
tree or Stalin?
All right, Malika. We tried this game. Tree or Stollen is a game that Malika shared, sort of like a party game where one person thinks of an object or a person, they think of something, and then the other people have to try to guess what it is that they are thinking of, but they have to start off by asking tree or Stalin. And then the person who has the thing in mind has to say tree or Stalin, depending on how close that the object that they're thinking is to a tree or to Stalin. And then once you decide tree or Stalin, if they say Stalin, then you say Stalin or something else, the other person who's trying to guess. And so you go on this way until you guess what the item is that the person is thinking. This went on forever. We did it when we were in line for Rise of the Resistance at Disneyland, which is it takes a long time. It's a long line. I was there with my husband and some kids of various ages, and so we tried it first. I was the one who had the object in mind, and then they were guessing, and then they got frustrated. So we sort of switched it out with Sinai and I. I think we actually got to what it was after a few hints,
Yeah.
but no, everyone else just kind of gave up before we got to the thing. It's
Wow.
really hard when it's wide open, anything.
Yeah.
I think you have to, I don't know. I don't know what you have to do.
Pick a category.
Pick a category would be helpful, like narrow it down. So like maybe there's scaffolding for different ages.
Mhm.
And they got tired way before I did. I was having a great time. I could have kept going, for hours, but they were done. And my husband was like, no. He just no. He didn't even want to start. So I'm up for Tree or Stalin again. Maybe when we're driving from DC to Massachusetts, we can try this again. I was delighted, but my audience not as much.
Okay, but you'd be up for trying it again.
I definitely would be, but maybe with a hint or categories like you said,
Mm.
because anything is anything. It's so wide. Like we were stuck at marine life. Someone was thinking of a frog and I was like, is it a dolphin? Is it seaweed? Is it the mermaid? It's like you could just go on.
I think if we play together, you and I can give you some strategies because I think there's a way to ask questions so that you're asking about categories, but it is kind of a logic thing ultimately because, yeah, you're narrowing down everything in the world.
Okay. So it's for the right kind of person, which I think I might be, and I'm up for learning these tricks and for trying again, but hard for kids.
Fair. All right. So, some sweep the decks follow up items for you. And some of these overlap with our recent 24 for 24 check in too. So, writing an education essay draft.
Yes, so I talked all about this when we were talking about the happiness project we visited. This is a goal I have for July and the month of creativity.
Great. One girl's trip.
Yes, we are planning to go to the Bay Area, take a road trip, and that's going to happen in August.
Nice.
Yeah.
Plan for taxes.
I have started that. I'm halfway there. I've made some adjustments. I have some more reading to do. It's just a sad part of being an adult. I don't know if I'm ever going to get to the end of it, but I do have some resources to help me.
Okay. Summer of Soul Smithsonian visit.
I actually just looked into this weekend just to confirm that we actually don't need any reservations and the tickets are all free. So we can just go when we are able to, within the visit hours. I know that my husband in particular wants to go to the Natural History Museum. I think I want to try to get to an art museum, maybe the portrait gallery or something. And I want to do as many museum gift shops as I can. Again, I think this is where our differences in stamina are going to play out, Malika,
Yeah.
because I have way more ideas than there are hours in the day for what's going to happen on this trip, and I'm going to have to be more realistic. But I'm confident we'll see maybe two Smithsonians.
Okay. $3 movies.
Okay, that theater is now $5.
What?
Just a heads up. The $3 movie theater of our childhood has gone up to 5, which is still very
Makes
reasonable, I would
sense.
say. Makes sense. Inflation. And we went to the movies yesterday, but we ended up going to the movies at the mall because it was just more convenient. So I paid way more than $5 for the movie that I went to. But I think there'll be another opportunity this summer.
Great.
It was enjoyable.
So the last item on your list was the mall. It sounds like you went.
Yes, we went to the mall yesterday. It was a great way to spend time out of the heat and walk around. Went to Din Tai Fung, went to the movies. It was great.
Excellent. Well, Zizi, you and I were both doing the things to an extent.
Yeah, we are. We are trying the things we say we're going to try,
Yeah.
more or less.
It doesn't always work out, but you know what? We're living life and figuring it out.
And it's fun. I love all these new ideas. So keep them coming.
You don't technically need this car. You say that out loud to yourself. You say, I have no space. You say, I'm just looking. Then you click. Then you zoom in on photo number 87 and whisper, oh no. Then you text a friend, the one who always enables you. You say to yourself, this is the last one, knowing it is not. You don't need this car. But maybe, just maybe, this car needs you. Bring a trailer. It's never just a car.
All right. Well, let's take another break. And when we come back, we will share our peaks and valleys. And we are back with peaks and valleys because in life, there are always peaks and valleys. Azizi, you are up first with a peak.
I would like to give a peek to. Can you give a peek?
Sure.
It just occurred to me. Okay. I would like to stand on the peak with all of our listeners and all of their suggestions. I love it. I love them. They're coming through Instagram, they're coming through email, they're coming through just friends who have listened and have things they want to share. And I feel like my life is so enriched now with all of these book ideas, shoe suggestions, just strategies. I love it. So thank you to our listeners for all of your help and advice. We really appreciate it.
Yes, I'll stand on that peak with you.
All right. Stand up here with me. What's your valley, Malika?
So I have a weather related valley.
Wait, that was mine last week. You too?
I do too. It's so hot and humid. And it's just the humidity. That's the X factor, like as a SoCal person, I get heat. I am used to that. I don't love it, but I can handle it. But the humidity just adds a totally different dimension. It's like there's this heaviness. It can be gray and raining, and it's like warm and muggy. And it's really been, most of the nation is in some sort of a heat wave. But we can't go outside. We can't spend time outside. Can't be at the mud kitchen. It's just. By the way, Indigo's fine. He doesn't seem to mind playing inside.
He's very hardy.
He's hardy. Inside, outside, actually, he seems okay. But we did go, we went to a barbecue over the weekend and like everyone was miserable and just pouring sweat. There were like two little shade structures that everybody was trying to sit under. And there was a kiddie pool at some point, but the kiddie pool was in the shade and the water was too cold. And it was just like nothing was right. Everybody was pouring sweat.
I'm sorry. That does not sound like fun.
It was funny. Like, what are we doing out here? This is a totally elective activity. But it was, it had been planned. It was like an annual thing this family does. And it was still good to connect with people. But it was also like, as soon as you got there, it's like, how soon can we go?
Yeah. We need heat contingencies.
We do.
Right?
Yeah.
We do it for the rain, but we kind of need it for the heat too.
Yeah.
Plan B.
Well, that brings us to the end.
On that note,
let's leave on a happier thought. Is there anything that you want to try this week?
What do I want to try this week? Maybe I will retry the sandwich hack.
Please.
Yes, I got to do it the right way. How about you, Malika?
I need to apply to that acting thing. And I think I'll give permission to myself to do it badly just to get it done.
Remember, this is the month of creativity. Do not worry about the outcome.
Yes.
Let's go for it.
Thank you for listening to this episode. You can find our show notes in the episode description. If you like us, please rate, review, and tell a friend. And don't forget to follow us. And as a reminder, we are doing an in-person meetup in the Pioneer Valley of Western Massachusetts on July 27th. You can check our Instagram for details.
Send us a message at happierladies@gmail.com and tell us something you liked about Happier and Happier in Hollywood this week.
Our show was edited by Magnus Bjorgum, and our theme music was created by Wyatt Muncie.
And we also want to give a special shout out to Gretchen Rubin, Liz Kraft, and Sarah Fain for inspiring our conversation each week.
You can find us on Instagram at happierladies and on the web at happierladies.com. All right, Azizi, have a happier week.
Have a happier week, Malika.
Bye.
Bye.
I don't like ads. Except ads that are for this show if we get ads in the
There
future.
are some ads that are for okay. Any of our potential ads.
This podcast is part of the Sound Advice FM network. Sound Advice FM, women's voices amplified.